Okay, so this is the first half of the reading. And in the center, the overall energy of this whole reading is the Queen of Wands. This is fire. Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius might be strong in your chart or in someone else's around this reading. But your energy here is holding on to a staff of fresh starts and new beginnings. And so you're ready to move forward. But this is the most passionate card in the whole deck. So you're a very passionate person. Wherever you put your love, you put your passion, whether you love gardens or animals, people, your job. You put your passions into things. So you are ready. It feels like you've been in a timeout, and now you're ready to move forward with the staff of fresh starts and new beginnings. Looking forward to your future. Now, up here in your highest energy, I have the Knight of Wands. And I feel like this was your spiritual, you just got done with a spiritual lesson. Because the Knight of Wands, you had someone who was running in and out of your life. You had somebody who was flighty. This person would run in with the hopes of fresh starts and new beginnings and would run out with a staff of passion. The Knight of Wands is very unsettled. They are flighty. Not grounded whatsoever, and it just feels to me like they ran out for good. You may have made them run out for good. You probably got tired of it. It was probably came to light. Now, this is above the Queen of Wands, and next to the Knight of Wands, we have the Moon. First off, this is the card for Pisces. Pisces might be strong in your chart or in someone else's around this reading. But this is about hidden things being revealed, night turning to day, or secrets being revealed. I think what happened is you realized it came to light that whoever was in your life was just a player, male or female. They ran in and they ran out, no regard to your feelings. No, they're only thinking about themselves, running in and out of your life. Well, that all happened for a reason. It needed to come to light, because if it didn't, then you wouldn't have learned your spiritual lesson. Thank goodness you're getting through it. The Judgment card. This is your guardian angels and spirit guides, and they're blowing the horn down on you, and you get it. You're waking up to a spiritual lesson, all because of this energy that you discovered was not working for you. That you discovered, that you're better than that. You need more than that. And so you learned your spiritual lesson. And guess what? When you learn spiritual lessons, you're rewarded by the universe. And I'm hoping that we see a reward in this layout. So you learned your spiritual lesson. You're ready to move forward. You're a very passionate person. I do have the Seven of Swords under the Knight of Wands. They go together hand in hand. It's like, it's deceitful energy. It's someone who takes, like taking of love. It can be actual stealing. It can be lying, cheating, any of those. It could be rumors, associated with this person. Or they could have been spreading rumors about you, but whatever. These energies were part of your spiritual lesson. On the other side, the Queen of Wands, I have the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords, this is a card of illusion, actually. You're bound. Your eyes are bound. We have swords of truth and clarity all around you, but your feet are free, your mouth is free. So this is like feeling trapped in a situation, and so you probably let this kind of go on for a while until the light bulb went on. The light bulb went on, you're like, wait a minute, I deserve better than this, and I'm going to make the necessary changes I need to make for me to move forward to a better place. And so you did come out of this energy, and this was part of your spiritual lesson, because I think you spent some time not dealing with it, like the blindfolds on. It's like, if I don't see it, it doesn't exist, and you just felt bound by this energy of this person who used to run in and out of your life. Not anymore. I have the Fool, which is right under the Seven of Swords. So the Fool, this is like throwing caution to the wind. This is a really fun card, actually. It's not having a care in the world, bouncing along with your head in the clouds, living in the moment, okay? Well, look, Knight of Wands, Seven of Swords, the Fool. So this is the type of relationship that you were in with this person who ran in and out of your life, that they're not there anymore. Or they will not be there very soon. But the Moon is you realizing what kind of relationship that you're in. You're in a relationship that is not going anywheres, and you want to go somewheres. You want to start looking towards your future. You needed this fresh start and this new beginning. And that's probably the passion that got you in trouble, that got you into this in the first place. Which is fine, because it's all part of a spiritual lesson. It was supposed to happen this way. So I have the Five of Cups under the Queen of Wands and next to the Fool. This is the disappointment you have in love over this past relationship. Looking at the spilled cups. But I call this the card of hope, because there's two full cups right behind this figure. And in turning around, you'll be able to see the hope in love. But right now, you're disappointed in love, and you really don't seem to have much interest in it. You're like just wanting to move forward towards a better future, because there was no future with whoever this was. And you wanted out of that Fool's energy, because this is where it got you, okay? I have the Devil card right next to the Five of Cups and right under the Eight of Swords. Now, this is the card for Capricorn. This is your card, Capricorn. Only because of the horns. But the energy of this card is toxic. It's like being tied to someone who's tied to someone or something else. So this is what, you're ignoring the toxic energy that was coming from a past relationship. So this is like something that is resolving now, and you will be moving forward. You're getting ready. That's the overall energy. I need to see where this goes. One extra card, and we will read it because it's needed in the reading. So we have the Tower card next to the Judgment card. There's the blow up. That's mostly what this reading is all about, is this spiritual lesson that you had to go through, and it wasn't easy. None of them are easy at all. But you're ready to move forward from this Tower moment. There could have been an argument. It could have been a Tower moment of realization of just, the Moon, like discovering or figuring out or just dawning on you that, hey, look, I'm in a relationship that is never going anywheres, and I need to get out. That could be a big Tower moment for you. I feel like you were brought together by your guardian angels and spirit guides. I feel like you were divine soulmates. I feel like you were lovers in another life. But there was something that you needed to learn from this soulmate in this life. So they brought this soulmate in, and there you go. You learned your lesson. You learned whatever it is you needed to learn. So this is a card for Gemini, by the way. So Gemini could be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But this is who you blew up. This is the relationship that was blown up here, the lovers. Now, usually they don't come up in this way. Usually the lovers will come up as something that they're trying to get you together, but they brought you together for this spiritual lesson. There was a lot of confusion associated with this person, if you think about it, in love. It's like they turned out to be another one of these cups. This is the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups, all these cups have something in them, and there's not enough room for love. They all are enticing. They're all yelling, pick me, I'm the one, I'm the one. Well, you went with it. They just turned out to be another one of those cups, a spilled cup. Caused a lot of confusion, because I think you were having love for this person, and I don't think they were returning it, is how I feel. And that causes confusion. It's like, what is this, a one-way street? What is this, a one-way relationship? And I think finally you just kind of you figured it out. On your own, you figured it out. I have the Magician under the Tower card and next to the Eight of Swords. So the Magician, there is a symbol of intuition and knowing. So your intuitions kind of ran high. I think your intuitions kicked in, and you're like, well, wait, something's wrong with this picture, and you just really started to pay attention. And you also realize that you have all the tools it takes to manifest just what it is you want from life. So I think you manifested this whole relationship to go away. You were up in your head. It wasn't an easy decision at all. This is right under the Lover's card, the Nine of Swords. But they caused you more anxiety and stress than anything. They really needed to go. They would leave you alone, at times. They'd run in, they'd run out. So the swords of truth and clarity start to creep in over and over and over. So you went through it. It was hard, very difficult to leave this relationship behind. But here's that wand. The Ace of Wands right next to that Nine of Swords and right under the Seven of Cups. This is the wand that you're holding on to in your fresh starts and new beginnings. And you're making it happen. You're manifesting it. You manifested this relationship to go away, and you're going to manifest you to move forward. I have the Nine of Pentacles under the Magician and next to the Devil card. So next to the card for Capricorn, which this is your reading, you're going from this toxic energy that was in this past relationship to becoming you again, all over again. Confident, stable, secure, grounded. This is a beautiful card. As just being you as a single person. So here we go. You manifested. You got to get yourself back to being you. You were in, I do have that Two of Swords. You were kind of blocking doing that. This is the Two of Swords. This is like an ostrich putting its head in the sand. Because out of protecting your heart, I think you decided to let this relationship ride for a while in hopes that it would just change, become better, become more of what you need in your life. Put your blindfolds on, so you didn't want to really deal with it. Your heart is crossed. Your swords are up in self-protection. And so I feel like you just kind of avoided dealing with this situation until it just it came to light to you that you want to move on. This just isn't working, So, the Two of Swords, you can only stay in that energy for so long. Now I have the Ace of Pentacles right under the Ace of Wands. This is something you weren't wanting to deal with, is they didn't have a pentacle to offer you. They weren't grounded. They weren't secure and stable. They were flighty. They were more than likely some sort of kind of a player, okay? So here is that huge pentacle, and you're going for it now. This is what you have your eyes set on, that fresh start, new beginning, and you want a grounded, secure, and stable relationship. You don't want any of this other, I don't even know what to call it. It feels like there's no organization whatsoever in this past relationship. But the Death card came out next to the Ace of Pentacles. This is a card for Scorpio. Scorpio might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But this is about leaving the old behind and moving towards the new. It's like ringing out the old year, the first part of reading, and ringing in the new year, the fresh start, the new beginning, which you have manifested. The Magician's pointing at the Two of Swords. And so it's like saying, look, you could have manifested all this a while ago, but you were blocking it, but now you're doing it. And that's all part of your spiritual lesson, too, here. Wow, I'm going to take out a card from the Angel deck. Sounds like you were in a really crazy relationship here. Even looking at it and reading it, it feels very unsettled and just like No wonder you weren't dealing with it, maybe in the hopes that something would settle, but nothing ever settled. You had to get out of it so that you can find what it is that you want. So I'm going to pull you an angel card here. This may or may not go with this reading, but this is something that your guardian angels and spirit guides want you to know, or want you to hear or consider. It might be advice. So I'm going to pull one card from this deck, one more shuffle. Okay, let's pull a card out. I'm going to cut and take the card that is there for you. Okay, it's called Organization. You can pause and read this anytime you want, but I'm going to read it to you. Your plans are on target, and everything will flow more smoothly if you add a little organization and discipline to your methods. The key to success is to allow your creativity to be gently guided by logic. Be open to asking for help from someone very intellectual, or seek out a mentor. That is advice from the universe. So yeah, this whole reading, it feels combobulated. And I do feel like there is some organization that needs to be done. You will be leaving the old behind and moving forward. But it does feel like, as I'm reading this reading, that there is someone, you need to get on track. That's what I'm looking for. And that's what you want to do. You want to get on track, and this is advice for getting back on track in your life, okay?